Why chasing the perfect genetics is actually holding you back. Most men believe their looks are limited by genetics. If I had a better bone structure, a stronger jawline, or a taller frame, I'd be unstoppable. That belief is exactly why you're stuck. Chasing perfect genetics is holding you back, not helping you. Because the truth is, looks maxing isn't just about the perfect cards. It's about playing the ones you already dealt to the fullest. The men who win in life and in attraction are rarely the ones with perfect genetics. They're the ones who learned how to maximize what they already have, outwork everyone else, and build a lifestyle that makes them impossible to ignore. That's what this video is about. How chasing genetic perfection keeps you stuck and how to break free from it. By the end, you'll understand 5 key reasons why focusing on genetics is a losing strategy, and more importantly, what you should do instead. And if you're serious about making the most of what you already have, my private coaching program is built exactly for men like you. Men who want to stop making excuses and start transforming their appearance, their confidence, and the results. And if you're ready to take real steps forward, check out the first link in the description and the pinned comment below. Point 1. Genetics are a baseline, not a ceiling. Genetics set your foundation, but they don't determine your destiny. Think of it like being dealt a starting hand in poker. Some guys get better cards, sure, but the players who know how to use what they already have beats the one who complains about his hand. You might not have been born with model tier bone structure or elite height, but most men never even scratch the surface of their potential because they waste time comparing themselves to unrealistic genetic ideals. The truth is, grooming, fitness, nutrition, posture, and even style can dramatically improve how attractive you look. You can widen your shoulders, lower your body fat, grow thicker hair, improve your skin, and build a masculine look that blows past average genetics. When you obsess over what you don't have, you blind yourself to what could be improved right now. You don't need perfect genetics to look impressive. You need consistency in maximizing the areas within your control. A guy with average genetics but elite discipline will always outperform the genetically gifted man who does nothing. The real flex isn't being born with the best cards. It's proving that you can take a normal set of genetics and sculpt them into something men respect and women notice. That's when you realize genetics might have been your starting point, but they don't have to be your finish line. Point 2. Perfection is a distraction. When you chase perfect genetics, you're really chasing an excuse. You're waiting for conditions to magically line up instead of putting in the work. It's easier to blame bone structure or height than it is to face the reality that your diet is sloppy, your training is inconsistent, and your grooming is an afterthought. The obsession with perfection takes your focus away from action. You start watching endless videos about facial structure, comparing yourself to male models on Instagram, and nitpicking every tiny flaw. Meanwhile, the guy who isn't distracted by perfection is in the gym 5 days a week, eating clean and refining his appearance. Guess who ends up looking better 6 months later? Not you. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. Even the men you think of as genetic elites are working hard to maintain their edge. They train, they cut weight, they hire stylists, they fix their skin. You're not competing against perfect genetics. You're competing against other men who are actively improving themselves. The harsh truth is this: waiting for perfection keeps you weak. Progress, not perfection, is what wins. When you make consistent improvements, even small ones, you'll stack faster than you think. That's how you get leaner, sharper, and more attractive. If you drop the obsession with perfection, you'll stop overthinking and finally start building. And that's the only way you actually separate yourself from the men stuck in a fantasy of, if only I had better genetics. Point 3. What really moves the needle? It's not genetics that move the needle the most. It's the controllables. Lifting weights changes your body proportions. Lowering your body fat makes your jawline sharper. Fixing your grooming and skincare can take you from looking sloppy to looking refined in weeks. Your style can make or break how attractive you come across. The controllables are what build transformations that people notice. Genetics are the background noise compared to the improvements you can create through training, grooming, and lifestyle. These controllables compound. Every upgrade you make builds on the last. You get in better shape, then your clothes fit better. Your skin improves, then your haircut looks sharper. Each area reinforces the next until the entire picture is elevated. This is why so many men weren't born with it and ended up outshining the guys who were. They took advantage of the controllables instead of crying about the uncontrollables. That's how you move from average to exceptional. And if you're tired of guessing at what really works, that's exactly what my private coaching program is for. Inside, I'll show you step by step how to take what you've got and maximize it in ways you didn't think possible. Don't waste years in the trap of chasing perfection. If you're serious, hit the first link in the description and the pinned comment below and start a real transformation today. Point 4. Comparison kills your progress. Every time you compare your genetics to someone else's, you're robbing yourself of focus. The internet makes it worse. You see a model, an athlete, and some influencer, and immediately think, I will never measure up. That thought kills motivation before it even begins. You have no idea what advantages or disadvantages those men started with. Maybe they're shorter, but they carry more muscle. Maybe they're taller, but they struggle with body fat. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. The men who win are the ones who double down on their strengths and grind away at their weaknesses. When you stop comparing, you gain freedom to work on yourself without constantly measuring up against an impossible standard. You realize the game isn't about being perfect. It's about being the best version of yourself. Women don't need you to look like a Greek statue. They want a man who's confident in his own lane, who takes care of himself, and who projects strength through action. Comparison is a trap. Progress is the escape. And when you focus on your lane, you'll find that you got more potential than you gave yourself credit for. Point 5. Discipline beats DNA. At the end of the day, discipline will beat genetics every single time. Discipline is what gets you in the gym when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps your diet on track when temptation hits. Discipline is what makes you take care of your grooming and style when most men let themselves go. A man with average genetics but relentless discipline will look better, feel better, and command more respect than a genetically gifted man who does nothing. That's the truth nobody wants to admit because discipline takes effort. Genetics are easy to blame. Discipline requires ownership. The longer you lean on your genetics as an excuse, the longer you delay the results that you could have had. But the second you lean into discipline, you start stacking wins, you start standing out, and you prove that you don't need perfect DNA, you need unshakable consistency. If you commit to discipline, you'll not only transform your looks, you'll transform the way you live. Because discipline in one area bleeds into other areas of your life. That's how you separate yourself from the average man. So here's the bottom line. Genetics aren't your enemy, and they aren't your golden ticket. They're just your starting point. What holds you back isn't your DNA, it's the excuse of chasing perfection. If you focus on maximizing what you can control, dropping the comparisons and leaning into discipline, you'll build a look and lifestyle that puts you miles ahead of the average man. Stop waiting for perfect genetics. Stop wishing for a different hand. You've got everything you need to transform right now. And if you want my direct guidance on how to do it step by step, my private coaching program is the fastest way forward. This is where I'll break it all down for men who are ready to stop complaining and start building. If that's you, hit the first link in the description and the pinned comment below. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the cards you were dealt. It's about how to play them. And if you want to play yours right, you'll build the life and look that most men can only dream of.